With the Remote Containers extension, you can attach a VS Code window to a running Docker container without having to pre-configure that container to have VS Code installed. Here I have the Remote Containers extension installed, and if I go and I run Docker here, so I'll say Docker PS, down here in my normal terminal, you can see that there's a single container that is currently running. Now to attach to that, all we have to do is open the command palette with Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P and say attach running, and I want the Remote Containers attached to running container command here. When I select this, you can see that VS Code is listing out all of the containers that are currently available. I'll select the one that I'm interested in. And now it is opening up a new window that will actually be attached to that container. So this is a remote workspace that has gone and attached to this container. You can see that we're in a Linux workspace here, and it's telling us that some ports are forwarded. So let me make this window a little bit larger here. And you can tell that this is a Linux workspace because if you go and you run something like uname here, so uname, you can see that it is printing out Linux even though I am on a Mac OS host. And we can go and interact with this project. So we can browse around files, we get things like IntelliSense. All of those features will just work even though this is actually inside of the container. We can go and run commands inside of the container using the terminal here. We could start up servers or we could tear things down. So we can just interact with this workspace pretty much like you would be able to interact with a normal VS Code folder, except this workspace is entirely inside of the container. Now again, the cool thing about this is that we did not have to modify the Docker file in any way. So just that attach command, that went and set up all of the VS Code parts that are necessary so that VS Code can go and attach to the server. You don't have to modify your Docker files or anything you're setting up there. You can attach to pretty much any running container using that command. So that's a quick look at how you can use the Remote Containers extension to attach a VS Code window to a running Docker container.